Okay, we are on and recording. I wanted to make sure I remembered. So no more team call in the car because soccer season's over. So I can actually sit and relax in my home office while we do these calls now. Don't have to worry about getting through the call and getting on the field to watch Kayla and be stuck in the car with the sun shining halfway on my face. So let's get started with tonight's call. So geez, what is today's date? Oh, May 15th. My gosh, we're already halfway done with May. This year is flying by. So tonight I wanted to talk about our why. And we started talking about this in the Diamond Training, in our team training page, which if you're not in there and you want to advance, you don't have to be an Emerald coach to be in this training. It's just if you are not a Diamond, this training is for you. We're going to go through all things coaching. So if you're a brand new coach, you're going to learn about everything in coaching in there. You're going to learn the lingo. You're going to understand all the information. But we started with the basic of why. And that was the first assignment, was for everybody to do a video and video themselves talking about their why. And why I started with why was because that's one of the most important things, is knowing why you're doing anything. If you're just doing something to do it, you're not going to get a result out of it because there's no emotion behind it. There's no drive behind it. There's no reason behind it. So that's just like, that was like, let's put it, for example, me with school. I was never good in school. Why? Because I had no reason to do school. I wanted to be a professional dancer. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I knew. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't feel I needed anything with school. So I had no big why connected to doing well in school. Had no urge to go to college. I wanted to graduate from school and move and go to LA and be a dancer. And I passed school when I was supposed to. I never got held back, but all by the skin of my teeth. I only did what I had to do to get by in order to pass. And I wanted to talk about the why for a couple reasons. One, because of our own personal journey, whether it be with our program that we might be following at the time, maybe with our nutrition, maybe we're trying to dial in 100% with the nutrition and eat better, or maybe it's with the coaching opportunity and it's with building your business and you got to dig a little deep for that why. But I also wanted to talk about our why because our challengers need a why. Our group members need a reason. We have to remind them why they told us they wanted to start this. When they're falling off track, remind them what their goal was. That's why it's really important to have some sort of a tracking system. So when somebody tells you why they want to do it, you can put a little note. I use a note section in my Teamsy, and I put a little note. Wants to lose this much weight by this month, has a wedding, is getting married and wants to be able to fit into this size of a dress. Whatever their reason being, they need to have some sort of a why. Because if they don't, they're just going to go through the motions, and on the days that they don't feel like doing it, they're not going to do it because they don't have a deep why in pressing play. They don't have a deep why. Lucy, you're making me want a popsicle so bad. That looks so good. I so wish I had a unicorn popsicle made at home so I can have one. It looks delicious. I'm just like staring at her. I'm surprised there's not like drool coming out of my mouth as I'm talking to you guys. Watching her enjoy that popsicle. It looks so good. So you got to think about it for yourself, but also for the people that you're helping. Like if people are talking to you and they're telling you, like I had somebody message me the other day that her doctor told her she is pre-diabetic and she's got to lose weight for her health. So now she's reached out to me. We've talked a bunch of times. There's many times that I've invited her. You guys know me. Every month. I've probably invited her monthly to my groups. And, there was always a different reason why. Well, now that she found out from her doctor, she literally messaged me on Facebook before she even drove out of the parking lot of the doctor's office. She's like, okay, I don't have a choice now. My back is up against the wall. My doctor told me it's that, or I'm going to be hospitalized and be on medication because I am not healthy. I'm not a healthy weight. I'm borderline diabetic, and she was just giving me the list goes on and on and on. That's her why. Now her why is strong enough that now she's ready to do it. And until somebody has their mind wrapped around their strength of their why, they're not going to do it. They might do it good for the first 3-4 days, maybe even the first week. But if they don't have a reason, when they don't feel like doing it, they're not going to. And it's the same thing for us in this business. If we don't have a deep enough why, and your why can't just be, I want to help people. That's not deep enough. If your why is only that you want to help people, I can promise you that on a day that life is hard, on a day that maybe you're sick, on a day that maybe you just wake up and you just don't feel like doing anything, you're not going to work your business. Because you're going to think of the people of, oh, I just want to help people. Well, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything today. So I'm just going to push work aside. Like, what was it? Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I was texting April and Heather and Natalie in our little group saying, I'm going to take the day off today. Well, I ended up working. I ended up inviting 35 people just because I was going to take the day off. And then I was like, why? I was only taking the day off just because I could. I had no reason. I mean, I thought I was going to be busier than I was. I had to take Alex in the morning somewhere, and then I had my nail appointment in the afternoon. So I figured I would be super busy. So I figured if I needed to, I could take the day off. I'm at Success Club 18. I've helped 9 people so far. I could take that day and then make up for it the rest of the week and just do extra the rest of the week. I ended up not taking the day off. I had the hour to push, focus, and do my power hour, invite my 30 people, and have it done. You know, this journey in a business is just like our journey pressing play. And I don't know if you can see my calendar behind me over there, but it's just like marking off the days on that calendar. We have to have a strong enough why for our business if you really want to grow it, you really want to advance, and you really want to never pay for product again. So every time a new product comes out, you can get it because everyone else is paying for it. Your why has to be strong enough for days like that when you don't feel like pushing through. And in this business, you're going to plateau just like you will on your journey. And when you plateau, what do? We add another band. We up our weights by 2 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever. You have to add something to get over that plateau hump. So if you feel like your business is at a standstill, and trust me, I'm going on next month 6 years in this business, my second time around. I did it for like a year before. But this last time around when I signed up to actually build the business and go, it was 6 years. There have been many times that I've plateaued and honestly questioned, oh my God, am I really on the right path? Like, I feel like my wheels should be turning more. I feel like I should be doing more. I feel like I should be getting more out of this. And then I have to do what I do in my fitness journey. I have to step back and really self-reflect. Okay, I've had a couple potato chips here and there. I ate a cookie on Mother's Day. I had some ice cream the other day. Okay, I need to dial back into my nutrition and I'll start to see changes. Or is my workout really hard? Am I really burning a lot of calories? Maybe I need to up my weights because I'm not sweating as much as I used to sweat in my workout. Or I'm not huffing and puffing, or I look at my watch and I burned half the calories I burned last time I did this workout. We have to be mindful of those things. And it's the same thing in our business. When you feel like you're not getting responses back from people, when you feel like, you know, you're doing your so many invites every day like you've always done, and you're adding this many people a day like you've always done, and you feel like you're not having as much traction as normal, you're posting like you used to do, you need to do a self-reflection. You need to go back to your posts, read them. Does it really sound like you? Maybe you're trying to post like other people and it's not really coming off authentic because they know the true you. Maybe, like I said, maybe you're not adding as many people as you think. Like you might be friend requesting, but they might not be accepting, and you maybe didn't really add anybody all week. But if you were keeping track in some sort of a system, you would actually be able to know how many people you were adding every day. If you feel like when I plateau, every time I feel like I'm plateauing, I up my invite game. This is a numbers game in this business. I mean, anything when you're doing a business, especially network marketing, it's a numbers game. The more you invite, the more yeses you'll end up getting, because for every 10 people you invite, you'll get 1 yes, maybe. You know, so if you feel you want more for your business, you need to up your inviting game. So I was fine for a while hitting Success Club 10, Success Club 10. Actually, next month, I will be a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend, which means I've hit 10 for 24 months. So that'll be, I have to finish June out. So at the end of June, Beginning of July is when in the back office I will be considered a Success Club All-Star Legend. Right now I'm considered a Success Club All-Star Legend in 5 and a Success Club Legend in 10, which means I've hit it for a year. So I'll hit it 2 years next month. But I've gone in, I've never stopped at 10. I would say the last 6-7 months. It's been 14, 16, here and there. Last month I hit 20. 20's been my goal for a long time. I finally showed myself I can do it. So I decided to up my invite game, and now I want to hit 20 every month or go above 20 if I can. I see some of these coaches hitting 30 and 40 and 50 every month. I'm like, what the hell are they doing that I'm not doing? They're helping so many people. So I decided I'm upping my game. I was inviting 10 people every day, and that was my number that I wanted to see on my teams. It was 10 for the invite. And if it was more, fine, but a minimum of 10. And I was hitting Success Club 10. I upped it to 20 to make sure I was definitely hitting 10. And that's when I started hitting in the 14s and the 16s and things like that. So then I decided to up my game to 30. And that's where I'm seeing that I'm getting to 20. I'm hoping this month to go beyond 20. I'm at 18 now. I don't see why I couldn't go beyond 20. I still have a few more 2B Mindset people that need to finish their orders. I have a girl that's ordering Friday. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I plateau also in my journey and in my business. But when that happens, instead of being like, oh, I guess it's not meant for me, and wiping my hands of it, I self-reflect and figure out how I can get over that plateau and get to the transformation I want, whether it be my business transformation or my physical transformation or my health transformation. And the reason I never give up is because of my why. And I want to share my why with you guys really quick with the business. The reason I push so hard in this business and the reason that I never give up, there's been plenty of times with upline issues and health issues with myself a few times over and issues with my family. There's been so many times that life has tried to get in the way, and there have been very many times that I've actually questioned not doing this business. And then I look at all the people I've helped so far. I look at you guys, my team, and I'm like, I can't give up on all of them, and I definitely can't give up on me, but I can't give up on why I started this in the first place. And I always have to remind myself why I started. And the reason I started this business was I started it before strictly for the discount of Shakeology. And then when I was going through my divorce and everything, I wasn't able to afford the automatic. So I just canceled it all. I didn't listen to my upline when she told me just postpone it. I was just like, nope, just cancel it. There's too much life going on. I can't be bothered worrying about when that's going to come out of my account. Then I started back up when I decided I wanted to drink the shakes again. And I was still drinking them off and on. Like one of my friends was still signed as a coach. So when I needed a bag, she would sell me her bag because she wasn't drinking it every day. And I had a couple people come to me and ask me if I was still selling the shakes. And I was like, you know what? I was about to sign back up. And that felt like that was the universe's way of telling me I needed to restart this business again. And I was starting it with 2 people, which means I only had to pay a third of my shakes every month. So it was more beneficial for me to start it. Well, before I started the business, I was going through my divorce. I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't work. I had no money of my own. My ex-husband changed his direct deposit before he asked for the divorce, and I had no access to any money because his check was no longer going into that bank account. He opened up a whole new bank account. I didn't even know about it, and he had his new direct deposit slip filled out at his work that I had no idea, and once he knew the switch was happening, that's when he asked me, and he took all the money out of the account, put it in his new account. I had access to nothing. I had no way to take care of my children, no way to pay for a place to live. I had nothing. All I had was the gas in my car and whatever personal belongings I could shove in my car, along with 2 kids in car seats, which take up a lot of space. So there was not that much space to put stuff in the car, but I did what I could. It was about 8 o'clock at night. We lived up in Palm Beach, and I drove here to Broward and moved in with my parents. So I was in my 30s, moving in with my parents, feeling like scum of the earth because I had no job, no money. I felt like a teenager that just graduated high school and had to go look for a job, yet adding 2 kids on top of that. And it was in September. School started in August. So the kids had just started school up there. Now I had to get them down here and have them start school down here. So I had to use my brother's address because Cooper City was the best. I swore then and there that would never happen to me again. I would never, ever not be able to take care of me and my children financially. No matter where life took me, no matter if I got remarried, and if we had money and we were fine with bills, I always was going to have my own way to take care of me and my kids. I was always going to have that. I was never going to get left again like that and not have any money, not be taken care of, nothing. I was never going to have that. Yes, thank God I had my parents to help me and I had a place to go, but it still did not help my ego as a mother and as a woman in her 30s that had to lean on her parents until she found a job, and then had to lean on her parents and stay there until she could save enough money to get an apartment. I couldn't even get a house. I had to get a 2-bedroom apartment for 3 people. I had to share a room with my son because I felt my daughter was older and I felt she should have her own room, because with all this stress, she was really the one that understood what was going on, so I felt she could use that space, that private space. So I vowed then and there that I would never be like that again. Now, Alex and I are fine financially. Marriage is fine. The house is fine. You know, we have our cabin. We're fine financially, but I still will never stop working this business because I will never not have something for me, something that I can be proud of, something other than me working for some other CEO and me building their dreams, something that I could do for me. And then on top of that, when I started doing this business, I realized the passion I had for helping people through the journey. Like, people can text me, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm going to answer them back. They're asking me a question about food, or I enjoy helping people. I always knew I wanted to help people because after I realized I wasn't going to do dancing, I was like, oh, I'll be a nurse. I love to take care of people. Well, that didn't happen because I got pregnant with Kayla. So I guess I always knew my path was to help people. I just didn't know it was going to be in health and fitness because I was never a health and fitness type of person. I was just a dancer. But that's what I mean about our why. There is such an emotional attachment to my why that there is no way I'm ever giving up. And because of that emotional attachment to my why, on days that I really don't feel like working, and there's many days, you can ask the girls that are in our little WhatsApp group, there's many days that I'm like, you guys, I don't want to today. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get out of bed. Especially when I don't have the kids, we're women. We have hormones. There's days that we just don't know why, but we just don't feel like doing anything. But I then remember that feeling of not having any money and having like this much gas and hoping I make it to Broward County so my parents can fill up my car for me, because he wouldn't. I remember all those things, and I remember my why. I remind myself of my why, and that pushes me. A lot of people say to me all the time, I wish I had your drive. I wish I had your motivation. It's not my drive and my motivation. It's my emotional attachment to my why. And then on top of that, I love to shop. I love to buy things. I love to travel. I love Louis Vuitton bags. I love expensive shoes. I love to get my nails done. Like, all those little extra things are extra whys. But my main why is that I will never be stuck again without being able to financially take care of me and the kids. Even when they're older, doesn't matter. That's still going to be the same, because they're always my kids. I'm always their mom, and they're always going to need me. So I need to always make sure that I can financially help them with whatever they want. What if one of them goes through what I went through? I want to be able to financially say, move in with me. I got you. I'll take care of you and your kids until you can get back on your feet. I want to be able to have that in my pocket in case they go through the turmoil that I went through. So I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to reflect on your why. If you're in our training group, I want you to go in and look at that assignment. I want you to make your video and post your video. I'm only giving these assignments to help you grow as a person. And once you grow as a person, you're going to grow in your own journey that you're on, and you're also going to grow your business. It all is a ripple effect. And this is how I built my business up, by going through these steps. That's why I wanted to do this training for you guys. So I put a lot of work into it, and I want you guys to really take it seriously. And that's another reason why I wanted to talk about our why today, because it's the beginning of the group. And that's the most important thing. If you are not emotionally connected to that why, there's going to be days that you're not going to push through. There's going to be days your why has to be emotional. And be truthful with yourself. Because my why wasn't, like, at the beginning when I vowed that, there were times where I would go through the business and I would just check off boxes like, yep, did it. But there was no like reason behind it. There was no fire behind why I was doing it. And I noticed a difference. Like I felt like there wasn't enough traction. And then I did a self-reflect. I looked at my posts. They weren't normal. You could tell something was off. You know, and I really looked through my business. I looked through my messages of how I was talking to people. You could tell it was off. So you have to go through. And then I had to remember, I had to sit down. I rewrote my why, you know, and it still stems starting with that financially, but then I added the other things. You know, that was another thing. And I started this business because I wanted to get on the shakes and I wanted to not have to pay for them. And that was my first goal. My next goal was to be able to start getting my nails done because that was something I loved doing. I hate my hands without taking care of my nails. And the fact that these are my nails still amazes me because my nails used to never grow before drinking the shakes. But that was always very important to me was, you know, having your hands look nice. As a woman, you want to look nice. And then I started getting my nails done. Then the next thing was like, hey, let's add getting my hair done on top of that. So your why is always going to change. There's always going to be things added to it, but there has got to be a foundation, an emotional foundation to your why. And that's really all that I wanted to share with you and talk to you guys about. We have a few minutes. I don't know if any of you would like to share your why. Oh, puppy love. I don't know if anybody is comfortable enough sharing their why as to why, and it could be, doesn't have to be why for your business. It could be why for your journey. But it can be why for your business. I would love to hear your why for your business. It's something that I love to hear from you guys. That's why I made that one of the assignments in the group for you guys to do a video, because then it helps me help you. Because then I can remind you your why. When you have those days that you don't really want to get the work done or life's in the way and you feel like you're being pulled in a million directions and, you know, you feel like you can't get traction, you don't want to do it, I can remind you your why, and then it can help push you to actually do it, which is what helps me, is my why. So I don't know if there's anybody that wants to share, but if there is, I would love to hear it. Oh, April unmuted. Does that mean you're going to share with us?
Yes. I think my why is just like with bills and stuff. And my husband has his own business. And last winter was like the first time that, because he did work a full-time job and have his business on the side. So his business had grown enough to like for him to quit work and do his own business. But in the wintertime, it's really, really slow. And we really struggled. Like we had to have help with our bills last winter. Like it was really scary. And we've always had a thing with where we've had 5 kids. So we've always lived like paycheck to paycheck. And it really sucks. It really does. You know, when you have to live from paycheck to paycheck and don't know, well, are you going to have enough money for diapers or food this week? And I guess that I feel like I don't want to live that struggle anymore. And I want to be able to help my husband bring income in so that we're not in that struggle anymore. And you don't have to worry, you know, well, if it's slow this month or if it's slow that month, are we going to be able to pay the electricity bill? Are we going to be able to pay the rent, you know? Because we still have our 2 grown kids and we still have to help them. Like we have to help our daughter buy diapers and formula for her babies. So that's the biggest, I guess, that's my why, is to be able to help make sure that we do have money for the bills whenever things are slow, because we have, you know, not only ourselves to take care of, but 2 grown kids and 2 grandbabies that we have to help supply for. So we have to have that income coming in somewheres.
I remember those days.
That's like we're taking care of
yeah
our 5 kids and then us 2, so that's 7, and then the 2 grandbabies, so that's 9 people.
I remember that. I remember sitting down back when I was with my kid's dad, there was, he made all this money, but there was never any money in our account. Whenever I was paying bills, it was like, how does that saying go? Steal from Paul to pay Peter. How does that go? Yeah.
Yes.
However that saying goes. So I would take the bills and I would put them in piles of importance, like the electric bill. Definitely was in the importance pile. Credit cards and like the cable bill was in the non-important pile. And the mortgage was in the important pile. Stuff like that. And I remember being like, okay, I have to pay these. And if there was something that I could do to not pay one of those so I can pay one of the credit cards so they weren't calling me, like I always felt like I was like shuffling cards when I was paying my bills. So that was definitely a major stressor. And then when you have that many to take care of, that many people to take care of, it was just the four of us, and we struggled. It was hard. But I know how hard it is. And that's an emotional deep why. You don't want to be at the part where you can't pay any bills. You don't want to be at the part where you're possibly losing your house because you can't afford to make the mortgage payment, so that's definitely a good, deep emotional why. That's not going to let you give up. That's going to make you want to hit that success club every month, so you can keep striving and keep moving forward, and find those other people that want to do the same as you. And make sure that we share those things. We share our fears of not being able to pay for things, or it's okay to share when you get a check from the company and what you used it for. Like, got my biggest Beachbody check and paid off the rest of my student loans with it. Like, whatever you use it for, even if it was something like I was able to take me and the girls and we all got funky hair for our beach trip, and I was able to do something like that. Like, it's okay to share those things because there are other people out there that have the same things that you're going through.
I know I was excited because I looked and like just from last week, but I worked so hard last week, and I want to make sure that I work that hard every week. But I was looking at my commissions, and it was like $180 something from last week. And I was like, wow, that's how hard I worked last time. Yeah. I looked at that and I was like, I guess you don't realize in the moment how hard you're really pushing and how many people you're messaging, because I was like messaging everybody, and I would go back and people that's probably heard from me several times and they're probably like, this lady is just nagging, but I would go back and touch base with people and just keep at it.
Yep. That's awesome. That last paycheck when we were all messaging and the thing, that was my biggest one too.
So that's my goal, is to work as hard as I can, and not even stop working hard through the winter, but work as hard as I can from now to get us to that point to where we're going to be okay in the winter if we are a little slow on the other business, that I don't have to say, oh my gosh, well, how are we going to pay the electricity bill, because I'll have the money to pay the electricity bill.
Right. Yep.
And exactly. Just keep building from there.
Exactly. And that's exactly how you do it. Is you have that one big goal of where you want it to be, and then you do those small little steps to get there, like each one is going to get you one step closer. But yeah, it's really, really important to have a little bit of emotional connection to your why, and to constantly be sharing, because only 1% of the people see what we're posting anyways. Anybody else want to share their why? April, make sure you do a video and post that.
Okay.
You can share yours, Heather. Are you muted? Oh, wait.
I'm on mute.
There you go. I unmuted you.
I'm mute the whole time. Well, I don't want to work so freaking hard. And I mean physically. My body cannot take it anymore. I cannot take it. My body's failing, and it's just due to Crohn's. That's right. Basically the main thing of it is the Crohn's. I mean, I'm in remission, but it just wreaked havoc on my body. I don't want to work so hard, and I'd rather work from home. And I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck too, between the two of us. I mean, it's between two of us. So that's my big one. Tired of corporate America.
Right. And you've been working in that forever.
Yeah, I work 50 hours a week.
Yep. And what does that look like to you? Like not having to work that 50 hours a week, not having to set your alarm to get up to do that work, like being able to.
It's kind of scary because I feel like I'd be lazy. You know how like, but I guess that's just the way I am now because I work so hard that sometimes on my days off, I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then I sit on the couch because I'm tired. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just going to do stuff from my computer, like, or my laptop. I mean, my tablet. I'm just going to stay here. No, I don't need to go to Target today. I can go on Sunday. Or, you know, I'm like, I don't want to go do anything. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here. I don't want to be talked to. You know, I know this sounds horrible, but on my days off, Angel will tend to stay home a little bit longer. And I'm secretly dying inside saying, Jesus, just fucking go to work. I want to be alone. Just go to work. I can't say that because that's mean.
You're thinking it, just not saying
Oh
it.
God, yeah, I'm thinking it. I'm like, I'm here going, oh, he's never going to go to work. Just go to work. You know, because I just want, I don't know. So I am a little bit afraid of not working because I'm afraid I'd be lazy. But then again, if you are doing this work too, you know, you still have to follow through with it.
Exactly.
You're going to have to set hours.
Exactly. Yep. Which I was just going to say, you don't have the work to go to, but you know you have work that you have to do.
Yeah,
So,
you have to set hours.
yeah, that's what I have. I have my hours. Like I get up and I get my workout in and I, you know, get Kayla off to school and stuff like that. Then I'll do my workout and then I get Ryan off to school. Then when I come home, I make my breakfast and my work hours begin. And I work probably from like 9 to 12.
Well, there you go.
I do my TeamZ for an hour, but before I do my TeamZ, I check into my messages, I check into my groups, and I clear out my notifications while I'm having breakfast. Then I start my TeamZ, and I do my TeamZ for an hour, and then I'm like, close the computer, taking a break. I'll watch TV or take my nap or go run an errand for Alex or whatever I have to do, run my errands, and then I come back to it in the afternoon and answer messages. So I do have set hours, and that's extremely important to have your hours set. Just as important as it is to have like a deep why. So thank you guys for sharing those with me. I love hearing everybody's why. But I really felt that this was a topic that we needed to talk about. It's been a while since we talked about our whys. And I know that, you know, being connected to it is going to keep you on track. And then me knowing your why, like I said, is a great way for me to be able to reconnect you to it on those days that you forget or on those days that you don't really want to push through. And you kind of, you know, you lose sight of it because it's easy to lose sight of it. It's easy to get, you know, caught up in the hustle and bustle of everything that's going on and lose sight of why you're actually doing what you're doing. You know, did anybody have anything they want to talk about before our call is done? Okay, so make sure if you haven't already, I'm actually going to go, when I'm done with this, I'm going to go into the team training group because I know a couple people had responded to a couple of the assignments. So make sure you go in there, check. It's only been 2 days, so if you haven't been able to go in yet, it's okay. Go in and read the first 2 assignments. Make sure you get those completed. It's extremely important every day to check into that group. Make sure you're doing the assignments and take it seriously, because if you take it seriously, you're going to see the growth in your business. You're going to get yourself to that next rank or above. You might go further than you expected to go if you just do consistency of checking into that group every day, reading the assignment, do it immediately, upload it, and be done with it, and then implement what you learned. So, all right, guys, thank you for joining. There is no Fit Family call tonight. They're doing it tomorrow night instead. I had posted about it. They have a surprise announcement. Well, I know what the announcement is, but
They're elite.
you guys want to be on it to see the announcement. I promise you, you want to be on it, especially if you're in our Diamond training, because it's an awesome opportunity for the people that are in our training. It's going to be something quite amazing. So you're going to want to be on it. I'm going to be on it. And I already know I'm going to be on it. Because I want to see everyone's reaction. I want to see, you know, what information they give. So then that way I know. Plus I always like to be on it because I like to support them and be on their calls and stuff like that.
Hey, who was #1 coach again this year?
Right now it's Amy Silverman.
It still is her because I saw Melanie Mitro post something about the 4-time top coach. I thought last year was her 3rd time, or was last year her 4th
Well,
time?
I don't know if it's Amy as the top coach, but I know Amy's team is the top team right now.
Oh, I got you. So it's not okay. So
Yeah,
that's
Amy
different
is like
coach.
top team, like with elite and all that stuff. I don't think she's top coach, but I know her team is the number 1 team right now. So I'm assuming they're the number 1 spot in elite.
I wonder how teams like that, how she tracks her people.
I know.
I'm like, what the hell? Like when I was listening last year, they were saying like, how many teams, business centers does Melanie have? It was something like 13 business centers or something crazy. I was like, all I kept thinking was, holy shit, how do you keep track of all those people?
They probably have a lot of assistants.
Oh yeah, I would say she has a lot of assistants. She would have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I have one. She helps me with a lot of stuff. It took me a long time to finally give in and get an assistant because I'm like, why would I pay somebody to do what I can do? Well, because she takes all the busy work, like every afternoon, like in the morning I would do my work, my follow-up, my inviting, my system, and in the afternoon I would do my planning. So I would schedule posts, I would make my pictures, I would schedule posting and welcoming people. I like all my busy stuff, scheduling stuff on my like page, like all the busy stuff. She does that. She makes my pictures for me and does all that stuff and does what would normally be my planning time because I would have a work hour and then a planning hour every day. So she took that away. So now I could focus more on my challengers. I could focus more on answering the messages back, and I just don't feel as overwhelmed. So she definitely does a lot for me. So I can imagine there's just as much. I know, God, what is her name? One of Scotty's coaches, and she moved here, the blonde.
Kendra.
Her assistant does her entire business.
I didn't even know she runs her business anymore because all you see her post about is organization.
Yeah, well, now she's doing like these books, like she's writing these books on organizing and things like that. But whether she's still doing the business, I'm not sure. But when she was, her assistant did everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Everything. She didn't do anything with her business. Her assistant did all of it for her. So a lot of people end up getting assistants to help them because it's a lot of work for people. Like I know Tana Jackson has her assistant, but her assistant lives locally. So her assistant will come over the house and they'll brainstorm and they'll do stuff together and stuff like that. But mine's not local. She's not even in this time zone.
I figured it was Kayla.
She used to be. In the summertime, I actually do pay her, and she'll make some of my pictures for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like she actually just recently made my Spotify playlist that I've been sharing with people for music for their workouts and stuff like that. So she does little behind-the-scenes stuff like that for me. When I used to do the slides for the team calls, Kayla used to make them for me.
Well, you can give her community hours for that.
Yep.
Yeah, say she gets community hours for that. You are a business, so
yep. Exactly. Yep. So that she gets some of her volunteer hours for school that way. So, all right, guys. Well, that is all that I had for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for getting on the call. So again, no fit fam call. So you are free the rest of your night, and I will see you guys on their call tomorrow night. I posted in the team page. It's tomorrow night at 8:30. So I'll see you guys on that. Have a good night.